Welcome to the Enigma Daily, everybody, our Wednesday edition. You know how we do around here on Wednesdays. We talk a little bit about the paranormal, and something's going on in Western North Carolina and East Tennessee. Again, the Brown Mountain ghost lights are making appearances now, right on time, I would say, to wrap up 2025. And if you're not familiar with the Blue Ridge Mountains or the Brown Mountain Lights, it's a mountain in North Carolina where supposedly strange, I've never witnessed these, but I should go take a look at them. Strange orbs are seen to float in and out of these mountains, right? And as a matter of fact, I got a good news article I pulled up. Again, here we go. This will be in the description of the video. But that's what it looks like on a rendering. But if you go down here, one little thing, that's actual footage right there of these Brown Mountain ghost lights floating around. And now, so let me give you a quick little history about these Brown Mountain lights. They're very famous. They've been around for been reported on for probably 300 years. The earliest sighting goes back to the 1700s. And actually, it has some Cherokee and Choctaw lore involved in it. So the Cherokee tribes spoke of these orbs floating around way before then, floating over the treetops. And they claim in their lore, their mythos, that these lights are the spirits of warriors that were lost in battle. And and then around, I want to say the early 1900s, you had railroad workers, get that out of my mouth, reported seeing them as well. And here's two quotes I thought were very interesting. I wrote these down. 1913, they said they rise up from the ground and dance like lanterns in the night. These are the railway workers. And it was such a mysterious phenomenon that the government took it serious, and they sent the U.S. Geological Survey team out there to investigate it in 1913 and 1922. And all they could do was confirm the phenomenon, but they don't have any reason why the Brown Mountain Lights exist. They've also tried to shoehorn in some scientific explanations on what these things are. First thing they'll try to tell you is it's swamp gas. That's a lie. There's no swamps in the mountains of Western North Carolina or East Tennessee, especially in the Smoky Mountain Range of the Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway there as well. There is a possibility that I think could be causing these lights. It's a phenomenon known as piezoelectric energy, and what that is when you have vast amounts of pressure from mountain rocks squeezing crystal quartz rocks, it causes these little orbs to come up. Now that has been documented, right? However, the Appalachian Mountain Range is so old. It's the oldest mountain range on the planet, and it's so mysterious. I actually think that there could be a pyramid buried under there somewhere, or there's some type of energy source, or something's going on that causes it. I don't think it's the piezoelectric energy phenomenon. Some people will try to tell you that it's car lights. That's not even true. There were no cars in the 1700s and 19. They were building railroads through there in the 1913, so that wasn't it. But this is Paranormal Wednesday, and so we're going to get into what we think is a paranormal aspect of it is. One, the ghost lantern, spirits. Can't rule that out. The Appalachian Mountain Range runs from eastern Canada all the way down to Georgia, and then underground, I know for sure, all the way down to Alabama, and at least probably into Louisiana. So spirits. The Appalachian Mountain Range is so haunted. You have no idea unless you've been there. Those mountains are so remote, they're so dense, they're so strange, they have a complete energy about it. And again, if you look at this black and white photo right here, that just gives you an idea of the denseness of that forest, right? All kinds of weird stuff going there. Some people try to tell you that might be UAP activity going on. Can't rule that out. I've spoke to people who have been driving through the very, very remote roads of Western North Carolina and East Tennessee and have seen hovering aircraft with strange red light and mist coming out of it, right? Other people also will go on there and try to tell you that it's a gateway, some type of, portal energy, that area is on a ley line, and that what you're seeing is, especially while this is reoccurring, is you're seeing electromagnetic fields or abnormally high thinning of the veil between the spirit realm and this physical realm that we live in. Before you laugh at that now, the Appalachian State University, which is at the top of that mountain in western North Carolina, and the National Geographic Channel both have went out there and conducted field research. And they literally came back with the same thing. Something's going on with the electromagnetic field. They float, they change colors, but they also describe them as you get a feeling of them before you see them, right? Now, over the years, many people have gone out there to document this. There's actually a place where you can go up there and you can set up, and see these things almost on a regular night. But as you know, on a regular basis every night. But as you know how we do on this channel, we only report the most current stuff going on. And these are starting to pick up in intensity since July. These things have started to pick up more and more and more intensity on their sightings, and the number of them and the color variation that's going on. Now, this has had the last 300 years, this has been happening. It's had a massive cultural impact on the area. I mean, they made a movie about this in 2014 titled The Alien Abduction, based on the Brown Mountain Lights. They also have a bluegrass tune by the Kingston Trio in 1950 talking about it. Now, the place, if you want to go look at this yourself, if you're ever in the area, you need to type in your GPS. I wrote this down: Wise Man's View Overlook, to catch a glimpse. That's the best place to see these brown mountain lights. Now, my own personal theory on what these things are about is that if you've watched my channel and our sister channel, The Ancient Enigma Files, I do not think that I'm starting to think. I know that people will try to tell you that aliens are one thing, demons are the other things. I'm starting to think that all those buckets are blending together, and you're looking at a combination of, I like to just call them not us's, not humans. Something's going on up there that's not human. There's a folklore that runs through the Cherokee Nation, and probably the Choctaw as well, as far as up into West Virginia, about these moon-eyed people. The moon-eyed people were these gray, white, pale people who could only come out at night with round, black eyes. And West Virginia will tell you that they started mating with their women, and so, they turned on them. And the Cherokee also say that they got, tired of the moon-eyed people, and they went to war with them as well. There's also a lot of legends and lores up there about giants that, back in the day. We all know that's real. Read the book of Enoch. It'll tell you all that stuff. And so whatever's going on up there, I don't think it's a combination of, rock pressing on quartz that's making these things float up into the air. It's an actual legitimate phenomenon. And if you study, a lot of people, get into it with me a little bit when I point out that there's orbs. When you see UFOs and UAPs, you'll soon after see Sasquatch and Bigfoots, and you'll always see orbs with Bigfoots and Sasquatches, skunk apes or whatever. A lot of the older generation of Bigfoot researchers, they call it the woohoo. They don't want to get involved in that. They think it's just a primate. It's 100% not just a primate, in my opinion. But there is something going on in that area, and it's the little slant that goes down there in that area between Upper East Tennessee border all the way down to Georgia and Western North Carolina. That is definitely some type of paranormal spirit phasing in and out of our reality, and all kinds of other strange things. Also, when you look into the area of the Brown Mountain area, there's pretty confirmed Bigfoot attacks that happen up there. There's actually a rumor of a special forces operation to go in there one time and take out a group of highly aggressive Bigfoots. I've covered that on our primary channel. And again, if this is your first time finding this, we're the sister channel of the Ancient Enigma Files, where if you want to look at our long form content, go to the landing page, click on the little icon in the bottom, go over there and give us a follow. The format on this channel is we go live Monday through Friday at noon for 8 to 10 to 15 minutes, talking about up-to-date strange occurrences that are happening. Conspiracies, cryptids, lost history, paranormal stuff. You name it, it's what we talk about. So in my personal opinion, that's what's going on. This is something people want to put the label paranormal on it, but I'll disagree that it's something strange is occurring in the spirit realm in that area that's causing this type of activity to happen. So if you've ever been to the Brown Mountains, Leave it in the comments what you thought it is or what you think it is, or, leave us, your experience on there. But whatever it is, these things are picking up intensity. They don't care if we believe in them or don't believe in them. They're doing their own thing. So as we wrap this up, we are a brand new channel. Please do us a favor, get us a subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us grow. We're trying to 10x this to 100, then to 1,000, then to 10,000, etc., etc., etc. And also, if you didn't like what we talked about, feel free to give it a thumbs down, but leave us a comment on what you didn't like, or if there's something that we could do different to improve on this situation or to make this channel more presentable. Please let us know. Except don't say my face, because I can't change that. So that's how we do around here, guys. And that's all you get for today. And we will be back tomorrow with a new episode. We're out.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.